So welcome to essentially the last section here. We do have one more section where we're going to learn how to deploy our project to Heroku, but this is the last section where we're going to actually be adding new features and polish to our website. And really, I think what we should just do is go sort of step by step to each view and make sure all the functionality is there and visually everything is exactly how we would like it. So let's go ahead and start first with the dashboard. So we'll go ahead and move over here. Let's check out our dashboard.html. So right now, not a whole lot going on. We essentially want to show all the Hall of Fames for a particular user. So we've got to work on the view first to be able to pass that data. Then we'll work on displaying it properly. So currently, right, the dashboard, we're not sending anything over. We should go get all the halls that belong to a particular user. And we'll do that with halls is equal to capital Hall .objects.filter. Okay, and this is where we're going to try and find all the Hall objects for a particular user, and we'll simply do that by saying user is equal to request.user. That's simple. Okay, so now that we have these halls, we can go ahead and pass these forward to the template. So we'll say the string halls is going to pass forward these halls objects. Okay, we'll go ahead and save this. Then it's time to go ahead and move back into our dashboard.html and talk about how we want to display all this. So there's a couple of different ways that we could go. We want to keep this container that we have up top. I think the first thing that we should do is introduce and say, hey, this is this particular user's Hall of Fame. And so we'll use some sort of like H1 tag, some nice big text, and we'll say inside of here, this is, we'll pass in the username. We'll say user.username. Okay, and then we'll say that username's with the apostrophe S, Hall of Fames. Okay, so we've got that. Let's just go ahead and see if this is working. So I'm going to reload here. Look at that, Matt's Hall of Fames. I like that. That looks really good. With this, I kind of wish this was centered here. I don't really like it off to the left. All of this is really just a personal preference thing, but if you ever feel like design-wise you want to deviate from me, you're more than welcome. Inside of the class here, I'm going to use a little text center to get this all aligned in the middle, and then I'll do a little ending div at the end of this. Great, so that's going to center that for me. I also want to have a button here that's going to say, hey, if you want to make a new Hall of Fame that, you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to do an A tag, and we'll have our ending A tag as well. Inside of this, we'll say create new Hall of Fame. Excellent. On this A tag here, we've got to provide an href for where this should be going. So I'm going to say href is equal to, and inside of here, this is where we want to get to our create hall view. So let's go ahead and look at our URLs and make sure that we've got the proper name for that. So create_hall, let's copy that, come back, and we'll say, okay, we are looking for URL, in parentheses, I'll add create hall. Excellent. So that's what we've got there. We also want to add a class to this to make sure that it is a button. Pretty cool with Bootstrap that we can just say, we want an A tag to become a button, and it will do that for us. Pretty awesome stuff. So I'm going to add button and also button primary. So we'll go ahead and save this, reload, and look at that. It's nice and centered. We also got this create new Hall of Fame. The button isn't ending like I would hope. Okay, so we missed an ending quote there. There we go, class equals button. This should be better, so let's save and reload. Yes, this is much more of what I thought, and when we click this button, nice, takes us to the Create Hall of Fame. Okay, so that portion's good on the dashboard, but really the next step for us is we want to display all the different Hall of Fame objects. So let's go ahead, and this will be outside of this div where we do the text center. And I'm going to go ahead and do some little atom beautify on here, make sure that everything gets tabbed over appropriately. Again, the next step for us is this is where we want to sort of loop through everything. So we're going to do a little bit of a for loop, and this should go inside of a row. So let's make a new div. I'm going to say class on here is equal to a row. Do our double quotes on that. Ending div as well. Great. So now inside of this row, we'll make our for loop. So we'll do our percentage signs here, and we'll say for video in, and this is where we want to get to a particular hall. Well, I guess we got to take a step back here. We want to loop through all of our halls first. So we're going to do for hall in, and then we want halls with an S. So this is going to loop through all of that. And we'll do our percentage signs. Okay. And we'll do an end for at the end of this. And then inside of this one even, this is where we're going to also do another for loop where essentially, but we're going to be doing it for the videos. And so in this case, let's tab this over so visually we can just understand. This is going to say for something like for video in hall dot, and then to get to all the videos, we're going to say video underscore set dot all. So this is kind of a cool little trick with templates. If you're ever trying to get the too many relationship inside of the models, you can say the name of whatever that is with the set on there. So hall.videoset.all, and it's going to go grab those for you. Pretty nifty trick. And with this, that means we're going to be able to loop through each of the videos here. So let's go ahead and just copy the code that we had inside of our delete video, right? We had a really nice way for displaying a particular video. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this, come back to the dashboard, paste that in. So we still reuse the same video name here, so we don't have to change any of these tags. This all looks really good there. I will say we probably want these rows to be inside of the halls for loop. So I'm going to cut this, and we're going to say, okay, let's, for each hall have that. I'm going to move that div right inside of there. Great. So this is sort of bare bones for us right now, but let's just go ahead and see what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and reload this page, and look at that. We've got all the different videos showing up. That's great. But we can't see which halls they belong to, right? That would be nice to see. So we got to provide some details about the particular hall. So what we're going to do is inside of a hall, we're going to display some information. So you can decide where it is that you're going to do this. I'm going to do this above the row. So kind of just up here at the top, this is where I'll do this, maybe with an H2 tag. This is where I want to display like the hall's title. So I'll do an ending H2 there. Great. And this is where we're going to say we want the hall.title to show up. Now with this, for this particular hall, I think it'd be nice if we could link to this hall so that someone could go look at it in detail. So I'm going to do an A tag here. We'll do an opening and a closing just around all of that. And its href is going to be equal to the hall detail. So we're going to say, all right, our percentage signs, URL with the quotes here, and then we've got to go get the name of that. So we want the hall detail. Go to our URLs, find our detail underscore hall. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste that. Great. So let's save this, see what this looks like, reload. And oh, it's not loving that name, detail hall. All right, let's go back to our URLs, make sure that we've got the proper name. Yeah, we didn't provide the proper ID. That's the thing that's missing there. Okay, so we've got to come back and say with this, the hall.id. Okay, so let's save that, reload, and there you go. This is looking much better. So you can see we've got the cat videos, although right now it doesn't really mean a whole lot because we weren't able to, we only have one Hall of Fame. I'd like to see that it's looping. So let's go ahead and create a new Hall of Fame. I'll maybe call this one like funny videos. Okay, we'll create this. And if we go back to my dashboard, oh, look at that. In our base.html, we're not even linking to the dashboard. We're finding all sorts of bugs here. So let's go to our base for our dashboard. Let's change this URL to say URL dashboard. Excellent. So we'll save this, reload the page. Now go to our dashboard. Look at that. We have cat videos and funny videos. Now there's not anything inside of here. So we're going to have to work on like adding a video, and let's just go do this manually. So I'm going to say Hall of Fame /3/ and I want to do add video. And let's just go ahead and search for one. Let's just see what happens if we search funny on YouTube. It's funny. Try not to laugh funny. I like Vine. Let's do one of these Vine ones. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add this. And now if we go back to our dashboard, cat videos, look at that. We got the funny videos. So I would say the dashboard is complete. There's really one last thing that I'd like to provide here, and that's that I would like to be able to see inside of this dashboard, some more options in case, somebody wants to delete one of these particular halls, if they want to edit it, if they want to add a video, like those types of things. I think we should have those options maybe displayed just right below the title. So let's go ahead and go back to our dashboard.html. After our H2 tag here, we're going to go ahead and just add a couple of buttons here. So again, these are going to be href buttons. And so we had just created one of these. So I'm going to copy this for the create new, paste it down below. So instead of create hall, let's do this for deleting a hall. So let's get the URL for that. So we have delete hall. Great. I'll go ahead and copy and paste that in. And we'll have the name on this be delete. Great. And then let's just copy and paste this twice. So we want to be able to delete. We want to be able to edit the hall. And we also want to be able to add a video. Now I'm realizing with each of these, we're going to have to pass forward the hall ID. So let's also do a hall.id here. I'm going to add that for each of these URLs. And then we've just got to change these URLs. So instead of delete hall, should be, I believe, update hall, but let's double check that. So URLs, yep, we've got update hall there. And then for the add video, let's go ahead and get its URL. We've got add underscore video. So we'll go ahead and add that. Okay, so let's save this, come back, reload this page. So you can see we've got a couple of different buttons here. I will say with the delete button, that's a little bit different than these other. I think we should give it a different color. So maybe with this delete button, instead of button primary here, we should have something like button danger. Okay, we'll go ahead and change that and reload. And yes, this is looking a lot much more like I was hoping for. Okay, so if I wanted to delete this, we should delete this. It'll take us to this page. If we want to edit this, should take us to the edit page. Nice, looking good. And then also if we want to add a video, look at that. We can go straight there. So I think this is a completed dashboard. A user can log in and see all their different Hall of Fames that belong to them and make sort of some top level quick actions there. Pretty useful page for us.